Aqualung by Jethro Tull. Now we're going to break it down step by step, so before we get ready, please make sure you've got a copy of the PDF, and we're going to start with the riff. We're going to start with the spot here. Okay, here we go, focusing close. What's cool about this song is it uses the G minor blues scale, and the minor blues scale sounds something like this. And you do have the diagram for the G minor blues scale on the PDF as well if you want to learn the scale. And I need you just to keep that in mind, so when you do the riff you can recognize this note. This is the flattened fifth note if you go into the theory, and this gives the characteristic sound of the minor blues scale and the cornerstone for this riff, which is going to sound slow motion, something like this. Okay, notice I started on my ring finger. You may also start it on your pinky like this. I'm not too fussy about that, but definitely pinky for number 6. Okay, here we go. We're starting at number 5, fret number 5 on the 3rd string. Should sound like that. And you're going to jump quickly from here to the root note, and the root note is the note from which the scale is built, in this case G. That's the note G. And you're going to go from there to the minor third, bit of theory information. Please make sure we're using the pinky for the minor third, very, very important there. So it's going to go. Then you continue up the scale. There's that flattened fifth note we spoke about. So you can actually hear the scale hiding inside the riff. Okay. Then you pause on the 4 and you go back to the 3. So if you want to play through with me, it's going to be something like this, slow motion. 1, 2, 3, 4, and at a bit quicker speed. It's not that fast. Then after that we go to the next part, which is all chords. Now before we get going, just a quick overview. The guitarist plays the power chords D flat and E flat. We just play the root note E flat and D flat, or D flat and E flat, and we're going to work our way through the sequence along with the guitar parts. So it's going to sound like this. And if you want to find out where those notes are, there is a chord diagram showing you where to find D flat, which is at fret 4, E flat, which is at fret 6, F, which is at fret 8, and you'll notice that most of the notes, G flat as well, and the E, are all found on your A string, all found on this string for this exercise. At the end, the last two notes, the B and the D, fret 7 and 10, are going to be on your thickest E string, assuming you're playing a 4-string bass. And what's also important are the downbeats and the offbeats. Now your downbeat is going to be on your numbers 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Your offbeat is on the and, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's why on your PDF we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 written there to help you with the timing. So this one's especially for Willie, who needs to get to know his notes on the guitar neck, and for everybody else obviously. We're going to start the first bar, D flat, like I said, fret 4, and you're going to count 1 and 2 and 3. So that's the tempo that you're going to play at, or the timing rather, 1 and 2 and 3, like that. Now the second bar is interesting because it doesn't start on the first beat. It goes 1 and 2 and 3. So that's what I'm saying, nice exercise shifting from a downbeat to the offbeat. Then for the F, it starts on the downbeat again, like that. Okay, but let's just break it down slow motion. D flat, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, E flat, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then F is back to the downbeat, 1 and 2 and 3. But it follows 3 with the E flat, F, and then you're going to go to the next bar, the fourth bar, E flat, F, and G flat again. So that E flat, F that ends the third bar follows through immediately to the G flat. So you have this. And notice my fingers that I'm using over here. First finger for the 6th fret, the E flat, ring finger for the F, pinky for the G flat, like that. Okay, so you're starting with first finger, working your way up, and eventually getting to the F. So the first 4 bars should sound something like this. Want to play with? 1, 2, 3, 4, and you'll notice there's a little bit of a slide. What I'm doing there is I'm putting a lot of pressure on my pinky and just sort of helping get more of a sort of a smooth crossover to the D flat, because from fret 9 to fret 4, really big jump. So why not? Gives a nice legato sort of transition from the G flat to the D flat notes. Then the 5th bar, you're onto E flat. Now this one over here is going to go 4 times. Nice big jumps here again. There's my D flat, all the way to G flat. Okay, and we're going to now rebuild from the beginning up until the end of that, because it's got a lot of offbeat timings, like I said. Nice song, nice exercise. I really hope you're enjoying this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then to finish off, the last bar where you see the B and D in red at the end, it's 1 G flat, 1 E this time, not E flat, but an E jumps across to the B on top. That's what we spoke about. The B's in red and the E strings in red, if you look at the guitar diagram, and finishes on the D. So let's take the whole thing through slowly. So you're going to go from here, then you're going to go back to that again. Now, just certain things I want us to keep in mind when learning this song. Most songs work in groups of 4 bars, so you count to 4 times, or it's a multiple of 4. You count 8 bars or 12 bars, 12 bar blues for example. You even get 16 bars and more, I'm sure. But this song over here has only got 7 bars, because your first riff is your first bar, and the rest, that part, is 6 bars. So if you feel like the song's not quite completing itself and giving you a bit of a, don't quite know the word, but there's sort of a anticipation on repetition, if that makes sense, it's because it's got 7 bars, not 8, which is a multiple of 4. Now I'm just going to change angle quickly and show you my picking hand quick. I want us to rest the thumb on the E string. You can see the E string moving there. Not like that. I have had a few players that like this. Please don't do this, because you're going to really battle to get down to that note. It's not a healthy, not a very comfortable position. So rest your thumb on the string you're not playing, and when you go to that string, like for example the 2nd note, check what happens to my thumb. It just jumps up a little bit. It doesn't do that. Bad, good. Okay, so first part, and when I cross back over to the A string, check what happens with my thumb. My thumb comes back down. And the purpose of that there is to keep your hand nice and relaxed, nice relaxed position, and also to help silence the top string. So if I'm resting on him, he can't sound. And if I was doing a scale, in other words, if I do this over here and I play the scale, watch the movement of my thumb, and this is going to be that G minor blues scale if you want to play with 2, 3, 4. Watch the thumb. Watch the thumb. So my hand is keeping sort of this position the whole way through. Not that bad. Good. Okay. Now, that's pretty much all we need to know for the song. I'd definitely like to recommend that you go look at the original, watch the band play live. It's quite an old song, 1975 or something like that. Not quite sure, but it's in the middle 70s. And before we say goodbye, I want you to play it through with me once the whole way through. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and... repetition from there onwards. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you have an awesome week. For my students that are busy with exams, I'm sure you guys are going to do well and be full with music. Cheers.